what's up, guys? So in this video, we're actually going to be talking about how our upbringings affect our relationship. So stay tuned. Hey, I'm Fee.
And I'm G.
And welcome to FeGe,
where it's all about relationships and lifestyles.
All right, so let's jump right into the video. So we're gonna start with G. So G, talk a little bit about how you feel like your upbringing has affected our relationship.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a backstory. My mom and dad got married when they were like 18. My mom was pregnant, all that stuff. There's four of us between my mom and dad. And so they got divorced when I was 7. Mm-hmm. So before that, I had both of my parents. And then after that, like, my dad moved out. I hardly ever saw him. You know, my mom, she was trying to raise us 4 girls on her own. So she had to work. So she wasn't there a lot physically. Mm-hmm. But when she was there, she wasn't there mentally either. Mm-hmm. Like I said, she got married young. She had kids young. Mm-hmm. And so that all played into how her parenting style. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, when she was there, she wasn't really fully there. Mm-hmm. And so as a kid, you know, you just crave your mom, your parents' attention. Mm-hmm. And so I really craved her attention a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And so funny. I have to laugh because it's kind of funny. But because I craved her attention so much, I ended up like sleeping in the bed with my mom until I was like 16 because, you know, I
mean, that's like grown woman status. I mean, 16, you be trying to sleep with other people. Sorry.
Anyway, like, I just really wanted to be with my mom. I wanted her time. And so now, fast forward to today, in me and Fee's relationship, I am extremely affectionate with Fee. Like, I always want to show her, like, an overabundance of love and just make her feel like, or let her know that she's extremely loved in our relationship. And that's
do.
She do. And that stems from my childhood.
Right.
You know, and also, like, I have this desire in my current family to be present. Right. I even quit the military because I realized my top priority is my family, no matter how small, how big, or whatever the case. And, you know, me and my sisters and stuff, we're not that close now. And, you know, looking back, hindsight, as a kid, none of my mom's side of the family, not that close. My dad's side of the family, not that close either. But for me, as an adult now, that you and our kids, future kids, or whatever the case is, are my top priority. Right. And that's how my upbringing has kind of molded me to be. It's like what I lacked, I try to overcompensate for now.
And do you feel like that causes an issue, or do you feel like there's anything wrong with you feeling like you have to overcompensate? Or is it something that just comes naturally because it's just what you want and it's how you want to show your love?
So I think that's a tricky question with a tricky answer.
Okay. Thank you.
So I don't feel like it should have such an effect on my life where I'm overcompensating all the time.
Right.
There should be a healthy balance in whatever you're doing or whatever your values is. And so I think maybe, you know, finding that balance between where it's like, you know, I know what my values are, I understand why they are what they are, but not always trying to overcompensate because I'm scared of not having those things because of past instances.
Yeah, is it too, could it be like you're scared of not having those things, or do you not want to be like an absent parent like you had?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I get how that is.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to Fee now.
All right.
So, Fee, how does your upbringing affect our current relationship?
It's so funny. So, a little bit of backstory. So, my mom, she was a single mom. But my mom was like a hustler, a go-getter. She was always out in the streets, like ripping and running the streets. You know, she wasn't very present physically or mentally. That didn't bother me so much. But one of the things that I noticed when I came into this relationship is how I didn't get shown a lot of affection when I was a kid. So like my mom wasn't very lovey. Like honestly, my mom like represented like the 90s black woman. Like she wore baggy clothes. She was like real rough around the edges, but like she wasn't very affectionate in any type of way. So like coming into a relationship like the one that Geneva and I have, and her showing me like all this affection, it was like, oh God, please get off. Like, why are you so
She was overwhelmed.
touchy? I was. And it stressed me out quite a bit because, like I said, I didn't grow up with it. And it wasn't that I felt like I missed out on it because it didn't really bother me until I started having too much of it. And it started to bother me because I was like, oh my God, like, is there something wrong with me? Like, is there an issue? Why don't I want to be like held or hugged or whatever the case is? Like, what's the problem, right? And I've grown out of that. I allow her to be a little bit more affectionate, and I'm more affectionate now because it's something like, you know, you can always grow as a person. But that was one of the biggest things that, you know, I had troubles with that I didn't realize my upbringing kind of like brought into, you know, my relationship. So another thing that was heavy coming into my relationship with G is like I said, my mom wasn't around a lot. She was always in the streets. You know, she was hanging out with her friends. Like we was always somewhere else, okay? So it really taught me how to be very independent. So coming into a relationship where you have a partner who's constantly like wanting to do stuff for you, constantly like want to give you this, want to give you that, you know, constantly want to give. It's like, slow down. Like, I got this little mama. Like, I can do for myself. Like, I cannot. Yes. And still to this day, like, I cannot stand for G to do stuff for me. And it's just really because
like we be arguing about the grocery bags.
Bringing in grocery bags. Like, we literally be battling to carry more grocery bags than the other person. Like, she'll run in there and throw them all on her arm. And I'm like, no, sis. Like, I got this. Like, I'm carrying all the grocery bags. And it's just like learning how to be independent so young. Like, it is a good thing. But it's like when you're trying to build like a family and like a partnership, it's you gotta let go of that like sense of control. And I think that's partly what it is that, you know, I had to take control of a lot of the stuff that happened to me as a kid. So, you know, being independent, it was like I had to be strong. I had to be able to do for myself. I had to be able to learn new things and, you know what I mean, navigate, you know, life and stuff like that. And it's like when you're in a partnership, you can't do that by yourself. You gotta be open to
you gotta give and get.
You gotta be open to it. So, and I think one of the other things that I feel like really affects my relationship from my upbringing is that because my mom wasn't around a lot, she left us with my grandparents. So like all of my cousins that grew up with my grandma and grandpa, like we're all like siblings. So I had this really sense of like a big family. Like although my mom wasn't there, like I had my older cousins, or I call them my older siblings, and we all looked out for each other. So like that sense of like huge family, like I want to build that in our relationship. Like I tell you all the time, like I want at least 4 kids. And she is like, yo, we are not having 4 kids. But I really want like a big family. Like if she would let me have 6, we would have 6. She only wants 2. She's like 1 is fine. But I don't know. It's something about like if only people who have grown up with like a lot of siblings or a lot of cousins that they call, you know, their siblings, like to understand like that feeling and all the things that you guys did as kids and just as a group, like as a unit. It's just something about it. Like I want our kids to be able to experience that, to have each other.
Though, don't you think, with like their other cousins?
No, literally, like we are the last of the Mohicans to have kids. Our kids will be the youngest out of all the kids. Everybody else would be grown up.
Have more. Is that right?
Lies. Lies. So just wanting a big family, I feel like that's really affected like how I want my family to be. I want to have a big family
because you grew up in that atmosphere. I get that. I get it. I don't know if you're going to get the big family, but I get what you're saying. So you guys, the point of this video was mostly just to get you, our viewers, to start thinking about how past actions in your life may be shaping like your current relationships and consequences. Because a lot of times we don't realize how so much of who we are and who we've become and what our relationships look like are affected by how things in the past took place. Our upbringing. So I hope this gets you guys to really thinking and digging a little bit deeper about, you know, how you were raised and what actions or things or values you have currently in your relationship or your life that may be, you know,
serving you or not serving you.
Yeah.
Like, I think understanding, okay, this I can take with me. This I can grow with. And then there's other things where you're like, this I gotta let go of because it doesn't serve where I'm going, who I'm with, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So until next time,
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
She always come with it. Like, I know baby gonna always remember to say that.
Because she be like, blah, blah, blah. But thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. See you next time.